Contact lenses. Whether you're trying to turn yourself into a robot, a zombie, or trying to convince everybody you have Alexandria's Genesis with no periods but you're still fertile, there's probably a pair of contact lenses out there for you. But with how widely used contact lenses are and how available they are, there really aren't that many tutorials on how best to use them and take care of your eyes. Your eyes are really important organs, and while most contacts are completely safe to wear, you need to know how to look after your eyes if you're going to wear them. This is my semi-comprehensive guide for everything contact lenses. My credentials are that I started wearing coloured contacts right at the start of my cosplay journey, and I did everything wrong, and I feel it is my duty to prevent you from doing the things that I did so you can safely slay the house boots down. Also, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm just some gay on the internet, so if you're worried, always talk to your optician, always go and see a professional. Don't listen to me as your first port of call is all I'm saying. Where to buy your contacts. In this video, all the contacts that I'll be showcasing were sent to me by Pinky Paradise, who are a company I've been using for a very long time. This is not sponsored, but they have given me a code as well to give you for 10% off at checkout, and this is Stuck in a Bush COS10, which is shown on screen here if you'd like to buy any contacts from them. It can be really confusing to go online and see hundreds of different websites all selling different types of contacts, but what I can recommend is to check for evidence that the company supports the health and safety legislations of your country. For example, if a product is CE marked, which is European legislation, or FDA approved, which is American legislation, you'll know that they have passed all the checks to make sure they're completely safe for your eyes. You should also make sure to check on each contact if it has the ingredients and materials used in the contacts, especially if you know you have an allergy to a certain material because you don't want to have an allergic reaction. Finally, as a rule of thumb, I would recommend not buying from dropshippers like AliExpress for contacts because it's really hard to trace where those contacts are actually coming from and whether or not they comply with safety legislation. My advice, go forth, do some research, but make sure you double check that all the contact lens companies that you're looking at comply with safety legislation and list the materials used in their contacts. The different types of contacts. There are so many different types of contacts and factors that go into changing how your contacts will sit and how they will look, so I'm going to try and go through them all here as best as I can. Let's start with the factors that will impact your contacts and how well you'll be able to see in them. Prescription. You can wear prescription colour contacts if you wear glasses. Sellers should allow you to input a different prescription for each of your eyes. If you have a different prescription, make sure you're putting the correct one in the correct eyes, both on the website when you're putting in the drop down and in your physical eyes, otherwise you can't see. You can also purchase plano or 0-0 lenses if you don't need a prescription. Duration. Contacts will be made to last for several different periods of times. These usually include daily contacts, which are made to be worn once and then thrown away, 30, 60 or 90-day contacts, and 1-year contacts. It's important that you take note of when your contacts expire and make sure you throw them away after the allotted time has passed. Vision type. Depending on the style of your contacts, your vision in them could be impacted. Some contacts will have reduced pupil holes that will create a halo-like effect around your eyes and make it more difficult to see. Mesh and screen contacts will completely obscure your pupils and can either be extremely difficult to see through or damn near impossible. Make sure you consider where you want to wear these contacts to whether they'll be safe or not. You don't want to be walking around a convention in complete screen contacts, completely blind. That's not very safe. Now let's look at the different types of contacts that impact the way that they look. Cat eye lenses. This category usually covers any animal-like pupil or just any pupil that's a different size than just a circle. As these contacts don't have circular pupils, when they inevitably move around in your eyes, they will end up sitting incorrectly. This is why some cat eye lenses use what's called prism ballast technology. It basically just means little weights. So these lenses will use tiny weights in the bottom of the contact to keep them from spinning around, meaning they will always sit in the correct shape. Not every cat eye lens will use prism ballast technology, but like this website that I'm showing on screen now, it will often have a little indicator. So if you want to use that technology, make sure you check for that little thing there. Scleras and mini scleras. These contacts are larger than average circle lenses and cover a wider amount of your eyeball. While normal circle lenses are normally 14mm in circumference, mini scleras are 17mm, and full scleras are up to 22mm, which cover the entire eyeball. These contacts are much more difficult to put in than regular contacts, and they end up costing quite a lot more, but the effect is amazing. As I'm showing on screen here, these are my mini scleras, and don't they just look banging. UV reactive contacts. As you might have guessed, these contacts glow under ultraviolet light. They are always one singular block color, and under UV light in the dark they glow and they look absolutely amazing. Okay, I think I've covered all of the basics when you're looking at colored contacts. Of course, sometimes there will be contacts that are made for a completely unique purpose, like for a specific cosplay, but these tend to cover most of the categories that you'll see on most websites. Prepping your contacts. So, you've bought some contacts, they have arrived, and now what do you do with them? A lot of people make the mistake of taking the contact straight from the travel solution and putting it in their eyeball. Don't do that. That travel solution is not meant for keeping your contacts sanitary and safe for your eyes. They're meant for transporting the contacts and keeping them hydrated. Before you can actually wear your contacts, you're going to need a proper lens case and some contact lens solution. When your contacts arrive, they'll usually come in a little vial like this, or they can sometimes come in plastic containers. Let's talk about contact lens cases quickly. Some contact lenses come in little cases like these, where they have windows that you can see into the contacts, and these can usually help you tell if a contact needs its solution topping up. I'd recommend those types of cases over ones like these. I'm sorry, Pinky Paradise, I know they're really cute. But with cases that you can't see into them, you will forget about them and then you will come back and they will be crusty. I'm sorry, Pinky Paradise, look, I know they're really, really cute, they've got little cat faces on them, but please make them with windows. When you first receive your contacts in a little vial like this, take them out and transfer them over to one of these cases, and you'll need to use some contact lens solution like this one. This is just a generic one from a supermarket. It should always say contact lens saline solution, and you should normally soak your contacts in these for about 8 hours, but I would say overnight is probably your safest bet. Putting in your contacts. If you've never worn contact lenses before, it can be really daunting trying to put them in for the first time. Before I give any advice, I just want to say that if you're finding contact lenses too much, you're finding it too painful, or you're finding it just a bit too daunting to put them in, you don't need to wear them. You don't need to wear contacts to be a good cosplayer on MUA. Your eye health and your comfort is way more important than having silly coloured eyeballs. Contact lenses have a right way in and a wrong way in. When you put a contact on the tip of your finger, if it's in the right way round, it should sit in a perfect semicircle. If it's distorted or bent in the way that it sits, then it's in the wrong way round and you shouldn't put them in your eyes this way. You can sometimes tell just by looking at a contact, especially if it's got a really distinct design on it, which way is supposed to go against your eyeball and which way is supposed to face out. I hope that makes sense. There are several other videos and diagrams that probably explain it a lot better than I did. There are two ways that you can put contact lenses in. The first is with a little silicone plunger that some companies will provide you. You can use this if you don't feel comfortable using your finger to put the contact lens in your eye. Put the contact lens on top of the plunger in the right way as we just looked at, and use your other hand to gently pull on your lower eyelid. This way you can simply use the plunger to place the contact onto your eyeball, let go of your eyelid and let it settle into your eyeball. The other way is, of course, just using your finger. This works almost the same way, except you just take one of your fingers and place the contact right at the tip, and then using your other hand, pull down on your eyelid in the same way and place the contact in your eye. Now, if at any point you put a contact lens in and it burns or it stings, it feels like it's got something behind it, or it just doesn't feel right, take it out. You can always soak it in new solution, rinse your eyeball out and try again. Don't leave a contact in your eye if it feels uncomfortable. Your body knows what it's doing. Once you've let your contact sit in for a few moments, it should feel completely normal. You shouldn't feel anything when you've got your contacts in, and now you've got your fun, silly eyes. Taking your contacts out. You should only be wearing your coloured contacts for up to 8 hours at a time. If you push this any longer, then your eyes may become dry, irritated, and bloodshot. You can use eye drops throughout the day if our eyes are starting to feel a little bit dry, but as I said before, your body knows what it's doing, and if it's telling you to take them out, listen to it and take them out. How do you take them out though? I got you, don't worry. When you come to take your contacts out, you must only use your fingers to do this. Some contact lens companies can provide you silicone tweezers. Please do not put these in your eye. It can really damage your cornea. You must only use your hands. I remove my contacts by using my non-dominant hand to pull down on my eyelid, and my dominant hand, I'm using my thumb and my index finger to gently pinch the contact until it pulls away and I can take it out. When you do this, you will feel the suction against your eyeball loosen, and that's how you know the contact has come away from your eye. Another way you can do this is by using your finger to pull the contact lens slowly down to the bottom of your eyeball, where it will lose suction right at the lid, and you can pull it out that way. This might take a few tries, but try and stay calm and relaxed. You will get them out eventually. Put your lenses back in the correct pot. Most lenses will be marked with a right and left on top, and you must make sure you put the correct contact in the correct pot. Your little saline solution pots have their own ecosystem, and if you put a different contact in there, you're essentially sharing the germs between both of your eyes. If you're ever in doubt that you've put the wrong one in the pot, rinse out the solution, put new one in, and just start again. FAQs. These are frequently asked questions that no one asked me, just sometimes I see people talking about it and it makes me go mad, and I will answer those questions now. Can a contact lens get lost in the back of your eyeball? No. They can roll up into your eyelid where you feel like you can't see them anymore, but they cannot go and get stuck the whole way back in your eyeball. There's like nerves and shit behind there. It's not going to get stuck. If at any point you lose a contact, as in it just rolls a bit too far up and you can't see it anymore, just wait a few moments, it will come back down and you can fish it back out again. My contacts have gone dry. What do I do? Now, the general rule of thumb for this is if your contacts have gone dry, you need to throw them out. But I do think there are two important distinctions about whether your contacts are safe to wear again. If your contacts have recently gone a little bit dry, you can rehydrate them with contact lens solution and they will usually bounce back to their normal self. However, if they've been dry for quite a long time, and especially if they've developed these little like white crystals around them, you need to throw them away. They will not be safe even if you rehydrate them. Can I wear makeup while wearing colored contact lenses? Yes, you can. Of course you can wear makeup while you wear contact lenses, but it is the most hygienic thing to put your contact lenses in first before you put any makeup on your face, just to prevent anything from getting behind them. And here are my personal list of do's and don'ts, most of which are inspired by my own shortcomings and stupidity. Don't sleep in your contacts! You would think this would be common sense, but apparently it wasn't for me for a long time. I've done this several times, and let me tell you, when you wake up having slept in coloured contacts, your eyes will be dry, bloodshot, the contacts are going to be disgusting, and you will be lucky you haven't gone blind in the night. In worst cases, sleeping in contacts can lead to serious infections and potential loss of vision, so please don't do it. In fact, my friends have a saying, if somebody falls asleep in contacts, it's called pulling a Shan. Don't be like me. Don't have a reputation like that. It's really embarrassing. Just for clarification, I haven't done this in like 2 years. I'm a changed man, don't worry. For the love of all that's holy, do not think that you can clean all of your contacts in one go by making a big pot of contact lens solution and sticking every single contact lens you own in it and just sloshing it around. Don't do that. You know what I just said about contact lenses all having their own little ecosystems? You've just created a mega virus or a mega bacteria. I don't know, I'm not good at science. Don't do that. I know it takes ages to clean all of your contacts individually, but you know what else takes ages? Having to go to the doctors with an eye infection. Don't do it. On a similar note, don't wear someone else's contacts. Now, from my previous video, I am all for sharing and borrowing when it comes to cosplay, but that does not apply to your contacts. Keep your eyes to yourself. If a contact lens has ripped, either entirely in half or just a small bit has come off, don't wear them again. I know it's really annoying, especially if they're new, but when a part rips off a contact, all the stray fibers are there flapping about in your eyeball and it can cause some serious damage. Don't layer contacts. One contact per eyeball, and this includes wearing your prescription contacts and then a coloured contact on top. Please don't do that. One at a time, please. And finally, and perhaps most important of all, wash your hands before you put your fingers in your eyes. If COVID didn't teach you that, then I think you're a lost cause, my friend.
You should wash your hands, you dirty pig.
That was everywhere in England in 2020. Like, my college was full of pictures of Eric from sex education. It was brilliant. And here we have reached the end of my guide. I hope you found this helpful in some way. If I missed anything out or got anything wrong, please correct me or add on to it in the comments. This is a learning zone. I am just sharing my knowledge that I have accrued over several years of abusing my poor eyeballs. As I said before, I'm not a doctor or an optician. If you're worried about your eyesight or worried about anything, please go and see your optometrist. Don't just listen to a lesbian on the internet. I don't have a medical degree. Once again, a huge thank you to Pinky Paradise for sending me these contacts to show you, and you can use my code StuckInABushCos10 on their website for 10% off on your next order. Also, I'm sorry there's been such a gap between my last video. I've been busy, but thank you for all the love on my shorts. It means the world to me. We hit 15,000 subscribers recently, which was like amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye! I'm gonna sneeze. Am I gonna sneeze? Excuse me.